Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Bitcoin Yala. My name is Scott, and in today's episode, we're going to talk about the Bitcoin crash that just occurred. Bitcoin has now dived under $90,000 for one Bitcoin. So many people are getting nervous. Those are mostly the people who are new to Bitcoin or people who are trying to day trade the Bitcoin, but everyone else just sees it as another day of volatility. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. All right, here we go. Crypto sentiment sinks to extreme fear as Trump says tariffs are still on. So this article goes on to talk about how the crypto market in general is very afraid that Donald Trump's tariffs are going to negatively impact Bitcoin and impact cryptocurrencies as a whole. So that's what the article goes on to talk about. We've seen Bitcoin drop right after the announcement down to 86,000. Okay, so it fell. Now remember, it was around 105,000, and then it went to 92,000, and now it's down low in the 80s. And it's funny to me because we're thinking low is in the $80,000 range. I still remember when Bitcoin hit 20,000 for the first time and everyone got really excited. But again, this is the time that you want to buy. Anytime you see, and look at this chart right here, I'll make this a little bigger for you, but anytime you see a dip like this is a time that you should get very, very excited. It's almost counterintuitive because the average investor or someone who is brand new to the market would get extremely nervous when they see something dip down to here. But when it's Bitcoin, and if you know what Bitcoin is and what makes up Bitcoin, how it's engineered to succeed, this is an opportunity, not something to be afraid about, in my opinion. So this is the Crypto Fear and Greed Index. You can see the fear is at an all-time high because Bitcoin price has dropped. But again, this is an opportunity for us all. So much so that, let's go to my favorite quote. The time to buy is when there is blood in the streets, even if it's your own. This is by Baron Rothschild. He gave that quote in the year 1815. Now, he's an 18th century British banker. He emphasized the contrarian investing principle, which I just talked about, of buying assets when the market sentiment is at its worst. Buying during economic crisis, panic, or sharp downturns, because these moments are often present the best buying opportunities before they recover. Okay, so this is basically what I'm saying. And as you can see here, this news article here talks about the ETFs that are selling off at a rapid pace, the Bitcoin ETFs. And it says here, elevated interest rates and reduced global purchasing power have led to a noticeable decline in both open interest and spot inflows, underscoring the inherent vulnerability of Bitcoin to broader economic pressures. So basically our economy keeps tumbling. It's getting worse and worse. As we all know, the decline of the dollar, we're losing about 7% buying power a year, and it's reflecting in the price of Bitcoin because people who own assets in the world, whenever there's a market crash, they get sensitive to that, and some people panic. Okay, and some people panic, and you're seeing that in these articles right here. Okay, so you see Bitcoin 89,000. Okay, so again, that's another article. Now let's move on to even another article by the famous, we all know this name, Forbes magazine. And Forbes magazine says, don't buy the dip. Now, we normally say buy the dip, but Forbes is telling people to continue to add to the fear. Don't buy the dip. Start Bitcoin ETF warning adds to the extreme Fed price crash fear. Now, keep in mind, too, these news agencies and institutions, they get paid for eyeballs. They get paid for fear. Okay, so that's what draws people to them. So that's part of the reason, too, why they're saying things the way they're saying them. But again, this is adding to the fear. Now, I would show you as well, moving on to this news, PNC. Okay, I pulled this up, I did the old search, and I found that PNC has invested in Bitcoin through the Bitwise ETF. This is a sign of growing interest in Bitcoin among traditional banks. Okay, I typed in PNC Bank buys Bitcoin. Okay, now the reason I'm showing you this is contrary to all of those other negative news articles. The only way we found out about this is that through PNC's SEC filings that they bought Bitcoin. So in February, PNC Bank reported $67 million in Bitcoin-related investments, up from $10 million the previous year. Okay, so do you think PNC is being discouraged by all of this negative news? No, not at all. And speaking of people not being discouraged by negative news, let's have a look at the godfather of Bitcoin, I call him, the none other than Michael Saylor at MicroStrategies, or they rebranded to Strategy, the name Strategy for his company. And let's look at his purchases and what he's doing to see if he's rattled. This is the largest single company who owns Bitcoin. They own the most Bitcoin out of any other corporation. Okay? They own about $46 billion worth of Bitcoin. They bought about 478,740 Bitcoin. And the circles, these yellow circles, are all the times that they've purchased Bitcoin. Okay? And as you can see, look at where a lot of their buying is over here. This is what month? March 2025. Do you think they're afraid of this news? Or should I say fake news? No, it's not fake news, but just said that to be funny. But they're not rattled by this. As a matter of fact, they're buying, and they just announced they may be, or it's been rumored that they're going to continue to buy, which obviously they will, looking at this chart. They're buying as much Bitcoin as they possibly can. So the moral of the story is, everyone, especially for you newcomers to Bitcoin, is don't get rattled, don't get shaken by all of this news you see. This is a gift. This is a gift. Bitcoin was previously at $108,000, and now it's down under 90,000. This is an opportunity. That's why when I put together this thumbnail picture, I put a 5-star waiter image of him bringing Bitcoin to you. It's served up rare, because that's how I like my steak, rare. But it's served up to you as a gift. This is a buying opportunity, in my opinion. Okay, all the analysts are saying Bitcoin by 2034 will be in the millions. That's the average guesstimation or estimate of Bitcoin. So this temporary setback, this temporary dip, I don't view it as any of those terms. I view it as a buying opportunity. So just wanted to bring this to you because I got a lot of texts from people who were worried and nervous. What should we do? Just stay the course. And if you can, buy more because it's a gift. So until next time, thanks for liking, subscribing, and I look forward to seeing you all next time. Take care.